Hello again, Strokeweb. Today I will be showing you how to craft special items, how to custom craft a sword, a dagger, an axe, an armor like chest piece, helmet, etc. or accessories to your liking, to get something similar to this one, maybe better, or something similar to this one, maybe better, with 3 times flat damage when it comes to weapons and some other good stuff. Or maybe you might want to make, for example, like me, which I will be trying, a ring that is a steel ring as a base with crit damage, and give it this modifier, the modifier that gives you plus ailment stacks inflicted. So this is what I will be trying to do. And first let me explain how crafting in this game works. In this game, the crafting is a combination between the socketing system, the orbs as well, which can give you certain things, and the system that allows you to upgrade item quality and rarity. The first thing you need is a good item base. So what would I consider a good crafting base? A good crafting base I would consider, if it's a weapon that has 2 times or if you can get it 3 times flat damage, and a very good one would be for warriors, something with 2 or 3 times flat material type of damage. So in this case rend and toxic is nice. And in this case we have Rent and Frost, and in this case Aether and Sacred. Aether and Sacred would be good for an occult build, this one would be good for a material build, this one is kind of all over the place, so material slash elemental build. Ideally it would have crit damage, so this is probably a perfect craft base for a triple modifier, triple stat weapon. Of course, it could always be better if it has 3 times flat, but 3 times flat, I've never seen a yellow weapon with 3 times flat. So this one you can use as the starting base. It's a perfect one to start. It has quality too. Some people are saying it's better to upgrade the quality first. Others are saying leave the quality for later when it's a legendary. I can't tell you what is better, but I can tell you it's very glitchy. Those boots, when I upgraded them to 5 stars, they were 441, and they were 441 at 3 stars. Then after revogging, suddenly those went to 469 all resistances. No idea what actually changed. I'm not seeing differences in the numbers, but well, it's more all resistances, so yeah. But on this one, what you want to do is add one extra property with the ribbon tier to make it 4. If it gives you something good, then you put it into the machine, you put it into this thing here, increase item rarity, or quality if you want first, but you won't increase the rarity once it has 4 modifiers. If it doesn't give you a good one, you can try to gamble and use Ohm's Echo to remove one, or Abyssal Tier to remove one without adding a new one modifier. Once it's finished upgrading into legendary, if it has less than 6 modifiers, you can use a legendary ribbon tier to add a new modifier. If it has 6 modifiers and you want to keep gambling on it, you can either use Ohm's Echo, or you can use Abyssal tier and then another ribbon tier, depending on what you have available and how you want to approach it. The basic goal would be to try and get something that has 3 flat damages and preferably percent material, percent elemental, or percent occult, depending on what you're stacking. On this one I would ideally want shadow damage and make it for an occult build. On this one I would want to get flat physical and percent material damage and make it a material one. So yeah, here flat shadow and percent occult would be the preferred choice. Here I would probably want to kind of get either toxic or physical and make it a material with the frost being extra flavor, or I would try and get some extra whitening or fire and make it an elemental weapon. I do still think on this weapon getting another material would be the better option. So if it were a weapon that we are upgrading, I would pick something like this one, for example. This is a decent crafting base. Then if it were a helmet or a chest piece or a shoulder piece, I would pick something like that one. So I will be doing multiple experiments today. Hopefully it works out great for us, at least one of them. Now that we have our crafting bases, we want to add sockets to them. It's not necessary, but the way the system works right now is it's kind of random. You can add a socket to the item, and then based on the socket types and what numbers they are, you would be able to get new properties. So let's try and add a socket to this ring first. And what I would want is I would want to add on the ring ailment stacks inflicted. I'm not sure what socket this needs to be into. So I'm just gonna go for two different ones. See, this one will be number 3. I will be using the Genesis stones on the rings. But before that, this ring, I don't really like it. I don't really like what it gives. So what I'm gonna try and do is put a gem inside there. Basically, on a weapon, you're supposed to put a gem that you want to get. For example, if I want rend damage, I'm supposed to be able to put rend damage gems in number 1 sockets. For example, if I put rend damage gems, it's supposed to be giving me rend flat damage, but it doesn't seem to work that way, at least so far. Every time I tried to give myself something, the way the system was introduced to us, it was not working right for me. So I'm gonna try and get 2 sockets that are offensive number 1. So after rerolling, and I need to make sure that that's the only sockets there. Alternatively, I can try with just 1 socket being offensive number 1. Okay, let's settle for 1 socket offensive number 1. Now I'm gonna try and put rend damage gem to see if the game would work for us. One modifier is this one. This allows you to add a single magical effect. It will consume the socketed gem, and it guarantees a new effect whose magical effect depends on the gem's level, and the type is chosen randomly among all the types of gems. So since there's just 1 type of gem, let's see what will happen. See, it didn't give me what I wanted. We wanted a rend damage on attacks with this weapon. What we did get is material status element chance score, which is not even on the gem. It's not even on the gem. Or maybe I got wife leech from shadow damage, I'm not sure. So let's see if we can break this weapon by trying to remove an effect. We can try and remove 1 effect without putting a gem. So we've got 1 shot at this. I've only got 1 abyssal tier. So this is how we use the abyssal tier. You remove 1 effect. Alternatively, I can use an echo, but I don't have an echo. There is another gem that allows us to remove 1 and add another effect on its stat, which you should be seeing on your screen right now. And now this weapon got bricked, kind of. It's not what we want. So let's leave the weapon for now and move on to the rings. This ring, I'm just trying to get it to give me an extra crit damage at the bottom, like this one. This one has 30 crit damage at the bottom, 19 at the top. So I want something like that, together with some attack damage, preferably flat attack damage. So we're rerolling this. Let's try and put a gem inside to see what we can get. I got rend damage percentage. Right, let's try and get shadow damage maybe. But we ran out of gems to use. What should we try? Let's try this helmet. Let's try and add a good modifier to this helmet. This didn't give me something great, so I've got more things I can try. Let's try this helmet. And this is what you do. You kind of use those to try and give yourself some things. So if I put Alexandrite here, could I get the transfer time reduction? Well, I didn't. So there's more bases that we can try. More bases such as this one here.
It's not possible.
So let's take this base and try and add something to it. And this is a type that doesn't have a socket. We can just go straight for the RNG. We got attack speed, not something great, but this is how it is, kind of. A lot of RNG to this system at the moment, and we are supposed to be able to control it with putting different gems inside, but it just doesn't work like that. Not right now. So one more thing I'm gonna try is getting something good on this thing here, and hopefully later I can try and upgrade it. This one is another thing worth upgrading. So with this one I'm gonna try and use a Genesis Stone just to show you how Genesis Stones could give a certain modifier. So basically the Genesis Stone can give you modifiers like this one. Attacks gain X% damage from the last spell cast, or this one, +2 ailment stacks inflicted. So what we need is a socket on both of those. And I'm gonna use a different one in each, and then we will see what the Genesis Stones would give us. So we're gonna try and use a ribbon tier on one of them. Which one do we pick? 25, 27, 27, 28. Let's pick this one. 1 ailment stacks inflicted. So this actually worked great. So this is something amazing as a result. Next would be to upgrade items into legendary ones. You do that from this screen. And I've already got a belt being upgraded, and in the next run we would receive it. So let's do a dungeon quickly and see what results we've got. And here it is, the reward we got from upgrading a yellow belt into this one. So what this belt gave me after upgrading it, I believe, was the rage generation, or the elemental status ailment chance score. I did have the physical damage to attacks, I did have the ether damage to spells, and I did have the ailment afflicted with one of the other two. So it didn't give me 2 stats, it gave me only 1, which means I can add a new stat to this item. So if I were to go to my warehouse and grab where did it go? Actually I don't need to go to the warehouse, I need to be here. So if I were to grab this one, on it, and try and slam it with a Genesis Stone, and we did have a Genesis Stone equipped in that necklace if you remember. We did have it here, so we can remove that Genesis Stone, add it here, and remove this, add it here. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to get the ailment stats afflicted twice, but let's see what the result would be if we use the ribbon here to add another stat. Because this one has 5, and it can go all the way to 6, so let's see. What did it add for us? Poison chance score on toxic damage. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not really great. But it might end up being better than the one I'm using due to the ailment stacks inflicted. So in the end I'm gonna do this, and there we go, that's my new belt. Now let's show you something else, upgrading unique items. You can upgrade unique items into legendary ones, and this would give you great results when it comes to custom crafting something special. So let's upgrade my O'Malley's Wookiee belt into a unique. You go here, upgrade item rarity, you take the belt, you start the project, and then you have to do some maps. And here is the O'Malley's Wookiee belt that we got. And yeah, it is interesting, it is weird. We did get some physical damage added to attacks. I think we got occult damage and maybe the health regeneration and maximum HP, I'm not sure. because I don't have one to compare, but I can tell you the magic find, the ailment chance score, the attack speed score, the crit chance scores, both of them, the dodge chance and the all attributes were there before. So I think that the top 4 modifiers were what we got as a bonus on this one. So I'm not sure whether we can add more modifiers, but we can definitely use echoes, and let's see what we can do with an echo. You can also use abyssal tears on it. I'm wondering what the maximum number of modifiers on this one would be. So how am I doing with my See, I've got entropy orbs, but that would completely reroll everything. And I need legendary modifiers for this one, so for now I can't do much with this. Now here's me upgrading the Omaris Wiki belt with an Ohm's Echo. You can see I lose the magic find, but I get a bunch of other things. Now let's try crafting a weapon. I've got some bases here, and I think a good base would be this thing. Let's upgrade this thing. And here is what the golden child gave us after putting this hammer for an upgrade. Physical, toxic and shadow damage. What's elemental status, element chance score, definitely not something that great, but if you're whacking that chance score, it might be good, especially for a build like mine. Critical damage and attack speed score. So not something perfect, but it's pretty damn good, All it's missing is some, for example, instead of shadow maybe rent, and instead of the elemental status chance or instead of the attack speed score, maybe it could have given us something like percentage material damage or something like that, but it's still a good weapon nevertheless. One more thing I would like to let you guys know is do not get rid of WoW level, or not WoW level, but trash tier uniques. If it's uniques that you think are bad, don't get rid of them, upgrade them, such as this belt. They can get a ton of stats on them. I can tell you regarding every single piece of unique, because I've not tested every single piece of unique, but this is a shield that can give you flat damage. You can't get that on other shields. This gives you that special freeze chance converted into crit chance. This gives you the extra projectiles on all skills, and upgrading this bow would be amazing for certain builds. So there's a lot of things, for example this one with casting whitening spells with a two-hander, so this one with the extra crowd control immunity, a lot of things that you can try and upgrade and get some interesting things out of them. A lot of things can be achieved, so keep that in mind, especially this one with the attacks gain damage from the wasp spell cast and the no transfer time reduction. Even a combo between those two would be amazing if you can kind of upgrade them and make them better. Eventually those are pretty weak for high level content, but if those get upgraded and get a ton of new stats, it would be amazing. This one, look at that, 16 stats, and another viewer of mine that's in my Discord posted a version where he got pierce to projectiles and +2 ailment stacks applied on an Omalis Waki belt. Also he posted a unique necklace. So yeah, keep experimenting, keep crafting, and don't forget to share your results. Don't forget to share if you found some way to make things super strong that other people might benefit from and you would like to share with them. Now here's at 200% playback speed me trying to craft upgrade something such as this wall level shield, which I'm trying to get that flat efficiency, block efficiency that only drops on wall level items. And I can confirm what level items they need to be, but I can confirm it can drop on a level 76. I was trying in 97 just to see if it would work. Of course you can see I'm doing other crafting, kind of experimenting with whatever I've got available. At the end of the video you would also see some of the items I'm wearing. 90%, maybe 85% of those were custom crafted. My bruiser shoulder was not custom crafted, my heavy shoulder I think wasn't, and the necklace and legendary ring were also not custom crafted. The rest of it has been crafted from yellow all the way to legendary, and yeah, definitely worth crafting, worth upgrading, worth saving reagents, especially with the Genesis stones to get those ailment stacks if you're doing a build that depends on those. I hope you've had fun and you've learned a lot during this video. Of course, again, please share your creations. Let us see how OP your items are and how many tries it might have taken you to make those. If you've enjoyed the video, you can subscribe to my channel to get notified when I upload more content for Wolcen, Torchlight 3, Borderlands 3 or Warhammer Chaosbane. Feel free to also smash the like or dislike buttons, and thank you for watching the video. Keep it cool folks, and until next time, goodbye.